Rather than adding grace to your education, why not educate your grace? And that will be the first point on our keys to having a leadership that is easy. This is Leaders Arise, and I want to welcome you to this powerful session where we discuss on leadership and how it affects every area of our lives. We began some couple of episodes ago discussing leadership made easy. You may want to quickly catch up with those previous episodes so you can be on the same page with us. But I did emphasize at one of those episodes that leadership is needed to simplify complex things. How do you know a leader? It takes something that is complex and makes it simple. How do you know an honed leader? That's my coinage for opposite of a leader, is that it takes what is simple and makes it complex. Well, all of those were just my introductory lines as far as this all-important series on Leadership Made Easy is concerned. So today, I want to start teaching you how to unlock this teaching that I've titled Leadership Made Easy. How do you simplify leadership for yourself? I will be sharing along 3 lines. Hopefully, I will pick up on the first one today, and I will continue on the other ones in episodes to come. How can you lead easily? Now, my passion and my desire for this series is to help even a dummy to lead. I'm sure you must have had stuff around this statement before. Coding for it for dummies, whatever it is for dummies. So I want to say leadership for dummies. What does that mean? Leadership that anyone can practice. Because my job is to make it easy. So you won't think that because I have not been to this leadership school, I have not done this, I am not a choleric, I am not sanguine, I am not this, I'm not that, I cannot lead. So how can you gain leadership irrespective of who you are and where you are? I have identified about 3 things that I will be talking about today and in some episodes to come. I will mention those 3 things for you today. Then we'll begin with the first one today. Leadership made easy. Number 1, lead from your area of grace or strength. Lead from your area of grace or strength. Number 2, find a problem and solve it. Find a problem and solve it. And number 3, serve. 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 Those are the 3 things I want to share with you that can help you to lead easily. So I've titled this Leadership Made Easy. Number 1, lead from your area of grace or strength. Remember my introductory lines when we began this broadcast. Rather than trying to add grace to your education, the better way to go is to find your place of grace and educate it. I have learned over the years that leadership becomes easy when it is from your area of strength or grace. Perhaps you are trying to be like somebody else so that you can be a better leader. That is a difficult path to toe. The way to be a leader or a better leader is to understand yourself much better. When you find your area of grace and you educate it, you are going to lead from that area of grace and you become the envy of your world. That is why I strongly believe that everybody can lead. Everybody should lead. Everybody has been ordained to lead. And some have asked over the years that if everybody is leading, who are going to be the followers? Maybe you probably have asked that question before. Some of us are not destined to lead. we are just destined to follow. Some people are destined to lead. After all, if nobody follows, who can lead? The truth of the matter is, if you go over our previous videos, I've told you that there is a tendency to lead and tendency to follow that everybody must have to be healthy. The truth of the matter is, everybody can lead, everybody should lead, everybody is expected or ordained to lead. But that leadership must stem from your area of grace. For example, I'm a pastor by calling and by what I do practically. So when you come to church, I'm the leader here in church. Why? That's my area of grace. There was a day that one of my professors on campus, who had been a vice chancellor of a university, came to worship with us in church. And the family, the wife. I saw him brought out his note and was writing. In fact, after the service, he rose up and I welcomed him forward. He's also a pastor, actually. All right. I called him forward to come and just say a few things to the church. And when he spoke, he said, what I had here today, he said, if you go to some churches, you won't hear them in 1 year. All right. But that's not where I'm going. Where I'm going is the fact that he is a professor, at least primarily. All right. Let me put it that way. But when he came to church, if he were on campus, he would be the one talking, I would be the one writing or listening. But he came to church, a professor old enough to be my dad, my biological dad, came to church, brought out his pen and began to write. So in church, I have become the leader over him, at least for that 2-hour or 3-hour service. When I get to campus, he has been the leader over me for this duration that I'm going to spend on campus. Now, if as a pastor I go to the hospital, I don't assume leadership in the hospital, except if my pastoral grace is called upon. What do I mean by that? When I get to the hospital, I sit down on the waiting, whatever, I get instruction from doctor. They can even say, Pastor, go and buy these drugs. That's if I take a patient there. Or Pastor, go and do this. You see me saying, yes, sir. Okay, sir. It doesn't matter the age of the doctor or the nurse. It doesn't matter any other thing. What matters is that that nurse or doctor is operating in his or her own area of grace. So at that moment, he is exuding leadership. So that's why I call it leadership made easy. Because when you understand the peculiarity of your grace and the strength that God has given you, you will discover that God has ordained that you lead from that area. Even in the local church, when a worship leader steps on the podium to lead worship, even the pastor or the bishop, quote unquote, of the church, will follow the leadership of the worship leader. If the worship minister says, let's all go on our knees, we all go on our knees. When the worship minister says, let's raise our hand, we all raise our hands. Even when, that's the way it works. So everybody can lead. Everybody should lead. Everybody is expected to lead because leadership must stem from your area of grace or strength. So my charge for you today is this. Find your area of grace. Find your area of strength. How do you find your area of grace or strength? Number one, find that thing that you do exceptionally well than others. Number two, find that thing you do easily than other things or other people. Number three, find that thing that you do that people commend you for. Number four, find that thing that you do that stems from a desire or a passion in your heart. Number five, find that area where God specifically has ministered to you that you are supposed to function in. I discovered that if you don't find your area of grace, you are going to be trying to be like another person. In fact, you will likely write yourself off because you can't do like other people are doing. For example, don't come to church and be writing yourself and say, I cannot preach like Pastor Demola, therefore I'm not a leader. Can you imagine me go to the hospital? Because I cannot hold the surgical knife or put on the stethoscope like the doctor, all right, or do what doctors or medical people do, and I'll write myself off. I say, I can't become anything. I am nobody. I am not a nobody. It's only that in the field of medicine, that is not my area of grace. Rather than getting bothered about what other people are graced to do, and thinking I am graceless, I am useless. I would rather shift focus from what other people are doing well to what God has engraced me to do. That to me is leadership made easy. Once I find my area of grace, develop it, deploy it, maximize it, I can tell you that leadership will flow easily from that. That is our first thought on this all-important series on leadership made easy. My goal is to simplify leadership for you, that you don't look too far before you start deploying or releasing leadership, that you find your area of grace, you find what you do with ease, what people commend you for, what comes natural with you. You find that area that God has ordained or commissioned or specifically ministered to you, that He has called you in. Then you begin to lead from that area. But the challenge now is that most of the time our area of grace does not look like it at the moment. Grace or gifts, you want to call it, most times are like raw materials. Until you process them, the reason why we are clapping for people who are manifesting their leadership grace is because they have found their grace, they have refined it. Most gifts are always in raw form. So that's why you need an eagle eye, you need a revelation into the significance of that thing that you have been engraced or gifted in. Then take your time to develop it. Take your time to deploy it. You may want to look at this 3D: discover, develop, and deploy. Discover. You must have been used to that if you're a leadership student. You discover it, you develop it, and you deploy it unapologetically, unreservedly, with a sense of audacity, so that you can become everything that God has ordained you to become. I hope today's thought has been a blessing to you. We have been looking at leadership made easy. And of course, at the next episode, we'll pick it up from there. And I can assure you, you will learn a great deal. My name is Demola Awoyele, and this is Leaders Arise. Thank you for being a part of today's broadcast. See you again at the next episode. And bye for now.